The Great Arahants are like swans. The swans go from one pond to another pond without having attachment to the previous pond and without taking anything from the previous pond to the next pond. The great monks' lives were guided by the Buddha in a way that the monks will not get attached to the things that they used. Usually lay people, they get attached to the clothes that they wear. They get attached to the place they live, they get attached to the food they eat, and they get attached to the place they sleep. So when lay people get attached, they need those things again and again, not only in this life. With having strong bondages towards these things, they will come back to this world again and again with different forms as a human being, as an animal, as a demon, as a ghost, and they will have to go through this endless journey of samsara, being born and dead again and again. All because of craving towards these sensual pleasures, all because of craving towards these things around us and getting bonded again and again. But the great disciples of the Buddha were trained to be detached to these things. Even for a robe, Buddha did not want monks to get attached. So the monks were trained to wear a robe that is collected from cemeteries and garbage, and then they were trained to live in open areas under trees without having expectations to stay in a room. They were trained to live in any place. The great monks were trained to accept the food that is offered by anyone. It could be cold, it could be from the top of the rice pot, it could be the middle of the rice pot, it could be the bottom of the rice pot. Normally the bottom of the rice pot is overcooked or it is burnt. Even monks were trained to accept that. People struggle a lot to sleep. Then when people do many things to sleep peacefully, monks give up that sleeping posture and live happily by cultivating wholesome thoughts. Now we are going to see the great utmost practices that monks practice apart from the minimum of 227 precepts. Monks practice higher virtues. Those are called Dhutanga. Let's learn those 13 higher austerity practices that were practiced by the Great Arahants and that is practiced by the monks, that will lead to achieve Nibbana. So let's learn one by one. 1. Monks will give up accepting robes given by lay people. They accept a robe like this. This is stitched by collecting pieces of clothes from the cemeteries. It is not only this quality, there are much more Dhutanga. 2. The monks will not use any extra robes and only depend on 3 robes. Even when they bathe, wear one robe and in the meantime wash and dry the other. They are so content and do not let anyone know about these. 3. The monks will only depend on alms-bound food and not accept food in any other way. They do not accept invited dana from lay people. Even the lay people bring food to the monks. 4. The monks go door to door for alms round without skipping houses in an orderly manner. 5. The monks will only eat on one seat. That means they will not serve food again and again after once being offered. 6. The monks will not eat from a separate dish. They will only use the same alms bowl even for dessert, water. Those monks practice that much contentment. Whatever gets to the bowl, the monks use it. 7. The monks will not keep leftover food to eat it later. There's a simile for this. The monks only eat once, like a bird won't eat the same food or fruit which has fallen to the ground from its beak. 8. The monks never stay in rooms but in the forest at nights. 9. The monks will live under the trees. They will give up staying in a room covered by walls and a roof. They sacrifice their life and health even to defeat the defilements. 10. The monks will live in open areas. 11. The monks will choose to meditate at night in the cemeteries, where there are skeletons, dead bodies, and non-humans. These determinations or special austerity practices are practiced to quake defilements of the mind bravely. 12. The monks will accept whatever the room is given with any condition and will be accepted without any complaints. They are ready to accept any good or bad. 13. The monks will give up the sleeping posture in the night and will either stand, walk, or sit. The great Arahant Nagasena Thero explained to King Milinda about 13 aspects of the Dhutanga practice. Also, those Dhutanga can be practiced by sharp, medium, or by light methods. The monks who dedicate their lives to fulfill the following will be able to achieve following great skills, which lay people find difficult to practice with contentment because of their busy lives. Will be able to see past lives. Will be able to develop divine ears. Will be able to read others' minds. Will be able to eradicate all taints. Will be obtaining Ashta Samapatti. Will be obtaining Irdi Vidanyana. So the king, Milinda, was so pleased about resolving his doubts, and he paid homage to the great Arahant Nagasena Thero with sincere respect. By saying Sangang Saranang Gacchami, the Sangha we went for refuge had enormous qualities. They practiced these qualities with the hope to realize the Four Noble Truths. So even to hear such great qualities from such great monks who lived in the past, it is a blessing for our lives. Even when we offer dana, when we worship, and when we respect the Sangha, we can recollect these great austerity practices and develop a pleasant, a strong, and a happy confidence with the Mahasangha. And also at last, we should not forget to think and remember that all these things were obtained because of the Buddha. So Arahant Kassapa was the foremost disciple in austerity practices. So let's pay our homage to Arahant Kassapa and all the Arahants who practice austerity practices, and may we realize the Four Noble Truths by the power of those great merit achieved and obtained by the great Arahants. Still in this world, on this earth, still there are monks who are practicing these higher austerity practices. It is only in the Buddha's dispensation. It is only under the Buddha's teaching. It is only from a group of people who are following the Buddha's teachings. These qualities can be found. So it is a great blessing for us to hear these qualities, to know that monks are following these great qualities. This monk life is not an empty life. This monk life always has results. Why is it? A monk life is not a life that is wasted. A monk life is an extremely blessed life that will help you even if you become a layperson in the future births. Even as a layperson, you will be able to realize the Four Noble Truths. Why? Since you are practicing these austerity practices, so let all of us have a great confidence in Mahasangha and gain utmost results in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation by practicing the Buddha's teachings. Let's wholeheartedly go for refuge to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and be happy thinking that we have gone for refuge to a great Buddha who had practiced these austerity practices and who has taught these austerity practices to a great group of people who have followed these austerity practices with the great hope of realizing the Four Noble Truths. May my homage be to our Mahasangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Teruan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya.